Tri-Waco, the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce's annual Olympic and Sprint Distance Triathlon will begin at 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 9th at Indian Spring Park. Over 900 participants are expected for this event. The race starts with a point-to-point open water swim in the Brazos River, followed by a flat and fast bike ride on the spectator-friendly roads near the river, and finishes with a run along the Brazos River through Cameron Park, finishing on the famous suspension bridge. Tri-Waco will again include relay options, as well as the aqua bike races. Online registration is open through Friday, July 7th, 2023 at triwaco.org. The Tri-Waco Triathlon is presented by Bicycle World. Again, online registration is open through Friday, July 7th, 2023 at triwaco.org.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have some very special guests here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. Hi, I'm Elyse and I am on the board of directors for Waco Pride Network. What else was I supposed to say about myself already?
That's it. You're good.
Okay, that's it. I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Brock. I'm also on the board for Waco Pride Network.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you guys in the studio, especially celebrating for Pride Month. So I'm so glad to have your organization here and getting you guys involved. So the first question I love to ask my guests is, what brought you to Waco, or are you Waco natives?
I'm not a Waco native.
Ooh.
I moved to Waco about a year ago. I'm originally from North Austin, so not very far
Mm-hmm.
away. But I moved to Waco last May for a job. And
Oh, wow.
I've just fallen in love with it since.
Yay, we love that.
I moved here 20 years ago.
Oof, so a while.
My dad relocated here for a job when I was 16. And, you know, I was obviously not super excited about it because we moved across the country. So me and my husband met in college at TCC.
Aww.
Class of 06, so there you go.
I won't tell you how old I was in 06.
Please don't. And then, no, I'm fine. Everyone, whatever your age is, that's fine. Yeah, and so then we went to Austin for 10 years, and now we're back here raising babies, and yeah.
Well, I love that. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here and that you guys made it to Waco. And I know you've seen a lot of development, especially over these last 20 or so years. And even you being here for a year, I'm sure you've seen a lot of development happening in town as well. And really plugged yourself in and gotten in some amazing organizations and just really doing good things for our community. So that's great.
Thank you.
And to see how much is going on in a city this size. There's such a misconception that it's too small for big things to be happening. That's just not true.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's what we're here for today. So you guys are here with Waco Pride Network. So tell me, what is Waco Pride Network?
What is Waco Pride Network? Waco Pride Network is the pride organization in Waco. We're here to make sure that my brain just turned off. Basically, we're here to make sure that there's programs available to all of the LGBTQ plus community, and that everyone is feeling included, because Waco is actually a really cool place. And like 16-year-old me is like cringing like so hard right now, but it really is a really cool, welcoming place. So I think we just want to make sure everyone feels safe. I think that's like most of it. And then, helping educate people that maybe aren't sure of certain things. I think that's important too. And that's Alex does a lot of that. Thank God. Thank God for Alex. Yeah. So she's a huge part of, if there's people that need training for, what are pronouns, which I think a lot of people are feeling now. That's new for even my generation of folks. And, just making sure that people stay open-minded and learn. That's all we can help for.
Yeah, I love that. And so how long have you guys been around doing what you guys do?
So Waco Pride Network as a nonprofit organization was founded in 2018, about a year after the first Out on the Brazos, which is Pride Festival here in Waco. It takes place every October, which is a little bit different than most. But 2017 was the first Out on the Brazos, and then a year later, a group of incredible volunteers got together and formed official nonprofit, which gives us the ability to not only throw Out of the Brazos, but have year-long programming for people of all different ages.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So you guys, of course, it is already Pride Month. We are in June, but there are some amazing activities and community events that you guys are going to be hosting. So tell me about some of those.
We have, I think, 3 upcoming
Wow.
events in June. I nearly said July. What time is it? Which are actually 3 different proms. There's
Wow.
trends across the country. You'll see like queer prom or gay prom. So many LGBTQ people either weren't able to live out fully as themselves as teenagers, or simply just like didn't get to go to prom in the way that they'd want to, or at all. And so a lot of organizations like to throw prom, which is such like a classic moment of
I love that.
being a teenager for adults. So we have 3 for 3 different ages. Do you want to explain them?
Yeah, sure. So we have the Whipper Prom, which is June 27th. That's a Friday.
WIPA is our main group of young people. So it's Waco Youth Pride Alliance, which is way too many words to say. So we call it WIPA, and that is, what are the ages on that?
It's 18 and under. So it's
Okay.
you know, like when you think of youth group, that kind of age.
Okay.
So high school age kids, and probably I believe middle school age as well. And then we have the TNG, which is the next generation, which is an awesome name.
Love
So
that.
Just props to them for naming it that. And that's like, you know, the 18 plus young 20s crowd. So that one is on Saturday, June 24th. So they both have the Panic at the Disco prom.
Ooh, disco theme, but Panic at the Disco theme. I love that. Brendan, you're right. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I read. I was like, aren't they too young for this?
That's what I think so too.
I feel old all of a sudden. And then June 30th, we have our prom for people 21 and up. So does our adult prom.
Ooh.
And it is a fundraiser for Out of the Brazos, actually. So our youth prom, so that's 18 and under, is free. Our TNG prom for that in-between age is $10 a ticket. And then to help us raise money to throw Out of the Brazos as the biggest and best event it could be, tickets for True Colors Prom, which is an 80s themed prom.
Oh my gosh,
on
yes.
June 30th are $15.
Yay.
We're just so excited to, I mean, there's been an adult prom for a couple years, but this one's bigger than before and really exciting. Looking forward to a lot of hairspray, really investing in that 80s theme.
I'm really excited. And it's going to be hosted at Cultivate 712, which,
Yes.
oh my gosh, plug. It's fresh plug. It works. But yeah, we're so excited to be hosting that. It's going to be such an amazing fundraiser for the community. And then as you guys are starting to gear up for Out on the Brazos, you guys have a lot of stuff you're working on. So tell me all about that.
For Out of the Brazos, there's just all the things.
All the things?
All the things. You know, it's Pride Month, so, you know, you have a small business in town or you're just yourself, you want to do like a sponsorship, we have all that ready. It's a great way to celebrate Pride, is to help us make the Out on the Brazos fantastic this year. So we have a lot of cool things planned. It's going to be really community oriented and have a lot of group things going on. So I don't know, I'm excited. I think it's going to be good this year. I don't want to jinx it.
Cross your fingers.
It hasn't been Out of the Brazos. It's not a parade or a march. It's essentially like a community festival. So it's out at Brazos Park East. There are vendor booths for local businesses selling incredible art and crafts and stuff that they've made. There is information and resource tables from all sorts of different local organizations and nonprofits. There's music, there's activities. It is just, I think it's the most fun thing Waco does. I'm only a little bit biased, tiny bit biased. But yeah, it's incredibly family friendly. If that means you've got little kids who are going to come out, or you're like a group of teenagers who want a safe and fun thing to go do on a Saturday where you get to be yourselves, whether you're part of the LGBTQ community or not. It's just meant to be a place where everyone can be themselves and really accept that.
I love that. And you guys are looking for volunteers, as you mentioned, vendors, small businesses. How can people get involved?
So if you go to the website, there is a whole Out on the Brazos page, and everything's on there, from if you were wanting to do a sponsorship and what levels we have available, and all of the answers to those questions. We also, if you want to do vendor sign up, food trucks, we love some food out on the Brazos. You got to feed all those happy, hungry people.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry.
I'm hungry right now.
So of course that's already like we haven't started like really planning, but it's happening. There will be a dog parade this year.
Yes,
And
Really
there
excited
will
for
be.
that part. Really excited for the dogs.
that's like the first thing I tell everyone. I'm like, wait,
Dog parade.
there will be a dog parade. So I've already like, because you know all the pride stuff is out at the pet stores. So like going and like, all right, don't buy the bandanas yet. Like trying to like
Wait till they're on discount after Pride.
afterwards. Yes.
October Pride.
Exactly.
It's already gone on sale.
Yes. Oh, I just realized one thing I wanted to mention is we are doing a merch contest, which Debbie is helping me.
Yay!
do.
Yes. So, tell me more about it.
Yes,
Tell us all
so
about
we're
it.
So we really want the artist community to be involved and out because there's just a lot artists can say, and they're a big part of the community. So we want everyone to, if they want to, enter into our merch contest. So an official T-shirt for Out on the Brazos. We want some sort of local artist to make us something really cool, and our theme this year is
Live and love loud.
Thank
Whoop whoop.
you. So we want people to be inspired by that, and so we're looking for someone's art to be on the official T-shirt. We're gonna do one official like enamel pin this year, which I'm really excited about. And then probably like 4 stickers. So that's a lot of opportunity for people to jump in, and any interpretation. The stuff we've gotten in so far is really amazing, and people are so passionate. It's just
Amazing.
Yeah.
You can't say it too many times.
You can't.
And one of the cool things, it's actually going to be public jured as well at the 80s prom. So when you come to the prom, if you get a ticket and come, you actually get a vote on the design that you guys will get to see, that you will then get to buy as merch. So that's pretty cool too. Getting that community involved and getting people to hang out. And then you guys also do monthly meetings as well. So people, if they're interested in coming to help out, tell us about that.
So we do our Out on the Brazos meetings about every 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It'll get closer and closer together, the meetings, once we get there. Well, we're having one
like tonight,
but
you guys won't know about that.
So Wednesday night, if this is Friday.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't have the next one planned yet, but we always post that on our socials. Also, the event calendar on the on the Waco Pride Network website is, I try to keep that nice and updated with all the things going on. Yeah, so that's how
all right,
Place
perfect.
to show up if you want to volunteer, even if it's just on the day of. A lot of these are planning meetings, so you can get as deeply involved as you'd like to be. If you want to help plan the dog parade, that may not
Sign up specifically.
Maybe a dog parade, maybe an activity. If you are like really involved in the music community in Waco, we're absolutely looking for help finding local bands and musicians and putting together our stage programming. We're still in the early stages of all of that, and so whatever level somebody would like to get involved with, we would be delighted to have you. And social media is the best place to find the information and times and dates of all of our upcoming meetings.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing all the information on your upcoming events, as well as the big event happening in October. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. And now for a word from our sponsors. And now, back to the episode. And we're back. We just wrapped up talking about all of the amazing events and stuff you guys have planned for Pride Month and upcoming. One of the first questions I love to ask people when we get back from commercial break is, what is something you love about Waco?
What do I love about Waco? I don't know. It's actually a really charming little town. And especially since moving back, there is an amazing community, which you are one of the, I think, strong. I mean, like,
I try.
A lot of things that just you do, which is pretty crazy.
Oh,
but there's so many people trying to bring. That's not right. There are so many people bringing amazing culture to this town, and it's from the how do you pronounce it?
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos festival. That is amazing and beautiful, and I don't think 10 years ago, that would have been happening. The Cultivate 712,
Mm-hmm.
not to like
Shout out.
to you or anything, but just an amazing little art gallery that you can go, and it's like a little refuge for all of the, like, I would say when I was a teenager, I was a weird nerdy person wandering around the ghost town that is downtown Waco, taking photos and stuff. Like, I would have loved a place like that, and didn't have the get up and go to do it myself. So like, props to all of the people in town that are just working hard at making those possibilities available for all the awkward nerdy kids.
Yeah, and I love hearing that from somebody that's been in town for so long and again has been able to see these developments and these things come from nothing. Do you have something to say, only being here a year so far?
Yes. For work, I get to spend all of my time plugged in with nonprofits across the city and the county who are working to make people's lives better. And so most of us spend a lot of time being kind of sad because we deal with really tough spaces and issues, but meeting all these people who show up all day, every day to make their community better makes me feel like it's possible. And I think it's one of the joys of working in a city this size is people really care, and they are so deeply involved in caring for their neighbors around them. And that's wonderful.
Oh, I love that. And with that, what is something you guys would like to see more of in Waco?
I mean, personally, not just, I guess with Waco Pride Network is, I really would love us to have just a little space, like even like maybe we don't own the building or something that elaborate, but just like a little space that we could have to get, have 20 or 30 people be able to meet.
Yeah.
We have the parent support group and the youth groups and adult groups. It'd be really nice for them to have a little safe place to be able to actually like just go and meet together and not have to like struggle to find somewhere safe and non-discriminatory to have a spot.
Yeah, I love
think
that.
That would be great.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's kind of been one of the main goals of Waco Pride Network for a couple of years is we're a completely volunteer-run organization. So our biggest goals are having a space where our community can meet in regularly and safely that is built for our community. Although we love businesses and other organizations hosting us, it's different when you're having your own space. And then eventually to have paid staff. That would be really exciting as well. But just more capacity to invest in long-term options for our LGBTQ plus community would be really amazing.
Yeah, I love that. So what would you say is like the overall goal for Waco Pride Network?
The overall goal for Waco Pride Network, I think for sure, like having a safe place for people to meet up, continuing to have volunteers, continuing to have people apply to be on the board, just the continuation. That's it. People have seasons of their lives, so sometimes people have a couple years they have more time than others, so people come in and out. So just the continuation of people coming out and offering their time is what we need.
I think you really nailed it at the start. You said like the goal of Waco Pride Network is to have a welcoming and accepting and loving community that's not just internal within the LGBTQ community, but the entirety of Waco. So our goal is that in the smallest changes and the biggest changes that our community as a city and a county and a state and a country, etc., grows to be more accepting and shows that love and acceptance to their neighbors in different ways. So that's volunteering or coming to out or you taking your kid and their friends to whip a prom, just small changes that make everyone across our city and community feel better and more loved.
Yeah, and I know you guys have already talked about this, but what is something you would like to do, or what is a goal you guys have by the end of the year?
Out?
That.
I think it's the program that we don't currently have, the thing that I would like to see most as like a quote unquote young professional in the city is more spaces for young professionals in Waco to get together and not just network in a professional way, but build relationships. The thing that I hear most from people who especially aren't married or don't have kids is that they don't know where they belong in Waco. And I think Waco Pride Network is one part of a bigger conversation about that. So I'm hoping to figure out what that looks like and get that started at some point.
Yeah. And why do you think Waco Pride Network is so imperative to our community right now here in Waco?
I believe that it's very important for all of the cities, no matter how big or small you are across the country, to have these supportive places for not only the LGBTQIA community, but also allies to come in and all support and love each other. So
it's just important to have it here. Yeah. And especially when you have these communities that need a space, it's so glad that people are providing it and people are making these spaces for people's voices to be heard, and also continue on doing what they need to do, and be with people who support them doing the things that they need to do. So that's so important to hear. And I'm so glad that we, again, have people like you and the board and the organization itself to help bring that here in Waco. I always like to ask people also, is there any specific organizations or any specific community members that you guys might want to shout out that's helped along this journey? It can be businesses, it can be organizations, anybody that's helped out. Also, you can shout out your mom, your dog, or your grandma. So, dog for the dog parade.
Shout out to my mom for watching my children so I could be here.
Yay.
Just all of our board members. I just want to say this right now. I had talked to someone earlier today. We're such a great little team, and if it wasn't for all of us working together, and sometimes I know I can be a lot because I'm just like sending out spam on our Slack, but just like but we just have such a great team, and we're all so passionate about making all these things happen, and we're all very busy, so it's just
cries and busy.
Yes, I just huge shout out, and I really want to make all of them like medals or something to wear to prom, or tiaras or something. Because it's been a lot, but it's important. So
I love that. Anybody else you would like to shout out? Or
the board is incredible. Everyone who's not on the board who shows up to things like planning meetings, who thinks, well, I've got a couple free hours, how can I give it back? W is very much one of those. Cultivate, who has lent us their space not just for prom but for regular meetings. I've been working on sponsors and vendors and food trucks and all of those businesses who, the second those opportunities opened, were like, hi, can we be there? Like,
I'm ready.
How do we give you money? Really means a lot. Like, those first couple sponsorship applications and food truck applications are the reminder that, oh, we can do this, and that there are people here who want to show up and do this, who, they want to make sure that they're there and a part of a community and making it welcoming, are really encouraging. Chaw community is the one who's coming to mind, because
Yay, Jaja and Devin, we love them. Have them on the show before.
We posted it and they were like, we're there.
Yes, we're immediately ready to go. And so many more than I wish I could think of.
It's okay. People always talk about, they're like, I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out, that they're going to come after me. No, I'm kidding.
All the volunteers, all the sponsors, all the we so appreciate you, and the people that come to the events. I mean, couldn't thank you more. I mean,
yay.
Yeah.
We love that. Well, of course, now plug yourselves, all of your social media, your website, where people can find you, where people can get involved, get more information. Give us all the things.
So Instagram, there's W Pride Network is that. And then Facebook, I'm kind of like old now. So I'm like, type Waco Pride Network in Facebook.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to read you a URL. It's just we're the only Waco Pride Network on
Perfect.
Yeah, wacopride.org. All of the things.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. You can sign up to be a volunteer, and we'll send you spam mail when we need you. We have a once a month newsletter, and we try to make sure we have all of the things slightly gay happening in like the 50-mile radius will be in that newsletter. So if you have information for us, please also send us that info, and you can email us at event@wacopride.org, and you can send us all your fancy events that you have going on.
Yeah, if you're just looking for things to do in Pride Month, I think the Instagram is the best place to check. It's listed other places, but Elyse has put together these great info posts that have all of the upcoming events, not just that we're putting on, but that other businesses or other organizations are putting on, that it's all in one place, like a little calendar that you can go check out and get involved.
Yes, anything I found. Anything I found, I threw up there. So if you are a business in Waco and we have not given you a shout out or like a post on our stories, please message us. Just send us a message on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you use, and let us know. And I will make sure that the people of Waco know.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on again, sharing all this information and great ways for our community to get involved. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
I think we did it.
Yeah. We have an event that I forgot.
Oh, go ahead.
This probably fits better somewhere else. We are hosting a summer camp opportunity for teenagers, ages 13 through 18, so that high school age. This summer, it is July 14th, all day. It's a Friday, from 9 to 4, where teenagers can come out. We're going to have education opportunities from local community partners, a ton of fun activities. We will be tie-dyeing matching t-shirts, which I'm very excited about.
I'm excited
And then on Saturday the 15th, we'll have the whole family for those teenagers come out. So that is parents, siblings, the rest of our community is going to be there and involved. It's really just a space to celebrate being yourself, being young, being queer, families that love and care for each other, because we know that we don't always have that space. We wanted to make sure that we had some, and summer camp is such an essential memory to so many people. It's not always the most inclusive space, so we thought we'd just make our own, and we were really excited. More information on that can be found on our social media, as well as the email address to reach out to ask questions.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride! Yay! Happy Pride. Thank you guys again for listening to another episode of No Waco, and thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting us be here.
I love you guys, so it was great.
Yay, we love you.
So excited.
Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.